let's just talk about the calculation you had, because I'm fascinated by Trump voters, and most Trump voters I meet are not as informed as yourself, I think it's fair to say. You're pretty well informed on the foreign policy agenda. We know that Donald Trump pulled out of the Iran nuclear deal in 2018. You knew that. We know he assassinated top Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in 2020. You knew that. Those two decisions are basically why we are where we are now. It's why Iran started enriching at 60%, not the 3.67% they were doing under Barack Obama's JCPOA deal. You went ahead and voted for Donald Trump last year, knowing that he is the guy who tore up the Iran deal. It's not like, this is not 2016. You didn't go in saying, well, maybe Donald Trump might be the guy. He's saying anti-war stuff in Michigan. He's attacking Liz Cheney. Yeah, he sounds like the more anti-war guy. He had a record that you, Dave Smith, were aware of, killing Soleimani, tearing up the nuclear deal. So when he goes and becomes president and strikes Iran, that is on your hands too, right? You should have known that he was going to do that.
Well, I don't really agree with that any more than I think that if Kamala Harris had won and continued the policy, which she certainly would have, of funding Israel's destruction of Gaza, I don't think you would have had blood on your hands necessarily. The truth is that we live in a system where there are two major parties.
But I made it very clear, Dave, to people that I didn't agree with Harris's Gaza policy and that she would be bad on Gaza. You went into Trump.
I was very clear.
No, you suggested Trump would be more anti-war, didn't you? Or am I wrong on that?
No. I mean, I said, I always said going in, and I always was very clear on criticizing Trump for leaving the JCPOA and taking out Soleimani. I thought was a horrible decision that could have led to a catastrophe if not for Iranian restraint. But no, I was very clear on that. And I was very clear that the biggest concern with Donald Trump was Iran. I said from the very beginning that was the thing that was going to make me turn on him if he went in that direction. And also, I always knew it was inevitable that Donald Trump would mess up and that I would turn on him and be criticizing him. I wish he hadn't. I will say this. I held out a sliver of hope, and I always portrayed it this way, that because Netanyahu had double-crossed Donald Trump after he gave him everything he wanted in his first term, that maybe Trump would be petty and vindictive enough to not want to give him everything he wanted in his second term. And maybe the fact that there were voices like Tulsi and some of these other people who were a little bit better, maybe we'd see something better. But I always knew that he was going to end up disappointing.